Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, welcome back to the how-to series. The reason I'm sitting in a strange position in an open car door is because today's lesson, I was going to call it, today's video is how to change the back internal panel on a Fiat 500. Let's get into it right now. So welcome to the how-to series. Now it's been requested by a few people over the last few months if I could do a video on changing this or taking it off and putting it back. Obviously putting it back is a reverse of taking it off, so I'm not going to show you how to put it back, but what I will show you is how to take it off. Now there are various videos on how to take the seats out. I've got videos on my channel of how to take the rear seats out and the front seats out. There's also videos on how to remove in that panel the Blue and Me unit, in which case of course this panel needs to come off. This is a facelift car, 2016 car, so it hasn't got Blue and Me because it's got the Uconnect within the upgraded head unit. But there's various reasons why you might want to take off that side panel. You might have a blown speaker, you might have the blown Blue and Me, you may have to change a seat belt or a pretensioner or something like that. Now to change a seat belt, you don't necessarily have to take it off completely. If you take the seat base out, you can pull it out enough to be able to do it. It's a bit fiddly. It's better to take it out, but it is fiddly. What you can also do is take the seats out entirely and then take that back panel off entirely. Depends on why you want to do it. The reason I'm taking this one off today, which was an ideal time to film it, is because I've got panel damage on the other side. And I am taking it to the body shop within the next couple of days, and to get a good price I prep it as much as I can inside for them to do their work from the inside to push out the dent. So anything I can do keeps the price down. If they haven't got to take the seats out, take the panels off and so on, then it's cheaper for me. So that's what I'm going to do today. So one thing I will point out at the moment is the way that some of this stuff comes off is slightly different on the facelift cars. On the facelift car, just there, if you can see, you can't see from here, we'll wait till we get inside, but I'll show you. It's easier on the pre-facelift cars, and we'll go through that when we get to that bit, but let's get on with it, shall we? And we'll show you how to do it. So the first thing I'm going to do on this car, which I'm not going to film because I'll put the link here now to taking out the back seats. So I'm going to take these seats out entirely. So if you don't know how to take the back seats out, pause this video, click on the link above, and it will show you how to get those rear seats out. And then once we've done that, we'll come back. Okay, that's the rear seats taken out, which took all of about 5 minutes. Just to go over again, you've got a bolt there, and a bolt there, and then you remove the centerpiece. And then to get the base out, there's a bolt down there and a bolt down there. Literally 2, 3, 4 minute job. Next thing you do is this is the same on the facelift or the pre-facelift. You've got a screw under there and you've got a screw down there. You take those screws out, and then this is just held on with poppers. There you go. I've already undone the screws, so that will then just pull out. This is where it differs slightly, I think, between the facelift and the pre-facelift. If we go in the car, on the pre-facelift, this piece goes all the way along to here. On the facelift, it's separate, as you can see. So we pull that out of the way, and then this bit should just pull down. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Trying to see, make sure I'm not breaking anything. I think this just pulls off. Yeah, there we go, it just pulls off. I can't do it one-handed, so I'll pull it off and we'll come back. But this, this is the only difference. So on the pre-facelift car, as I said, this piece goes all the way along to here, and these are different. These are a different shape. They've got this extra bit on. Why they've decided to do that, heaven knows, but they have. So yeah, that's the only difference. So we'll get that off, and then we will come straight back. There you go, that bit's out. So the word of warning up there is the curtain airbag. So you don't want to be getting your fingers up there and messing around with the airbag. I would suggest what you do before you take this off is you disconnect the earth terminal of the battery. That's always a good tip when you're doing anything on a car, really, just in case you disturb something. So I'm sure you won't, but you've got your airbag electrical connection up there. So the next thing that's got to happen is this has got to come off. Again, I think this is the same on the facelift and the pre-facelift. The seatbelt bolt has to come out. I think that's a 15mm. Let's just try and get a. No, it's bigger than a 15mm. We'll get the right bolt and then we'll get that off. Okay, so it's 17mm. I've already loosened it off with the gun. I didn't want to make all the noise on the video, so I'm just doing it by hand now to finish it off. Should have brought it out a bit further with the gun, but never mind. I'm trying to do this one-handed, which isn't ideal. Right, so that drops off, and then the easiest way to get this out is if you need to peel back this. Now you've got to take it back right to the bottom, so you've got to release this. Now you've got a screw there, and you've got a screw there, and then when you take that off, there's another screw underneath which holds this on. So what we'll do, it's just an ordinary screwdriver. So I can't really do this. Oops, put my hand over the lens. I've got my screwdriver here somewhere. So you undo. It's a bit awkward when you're trying to do it one-handed, holding a camera. But I'll show you on this bit. Keep these screws safe because you don't want to lose them. I should have used a power wrench on this. Okay, so then once you've done that, all you've got to do, pull it upwards and it just releases. So that just clips in along there, so you don't need to worry about that. There's the other screw. So you undo that screw. This doesn't necessarily have to be in this order because you could now take the rubber off if you wanted to, but while you've got the screwdriver in your hand, you might as well take out all the screws that you need to. That's that screw. And the other screw, as I say, this is ordinary Phillips screwdriver, nothing special. And the other screw is, if I can get the screwdriver on it, can't actually, I'm working blind here, I can't actually see what I'm doing. That's it. Undo that one. Talk amongst yourselves while I'm undoing the screw. It's quite tight, this one. So once we've got this undone, we then peel away the rubber door seal. Now that can be sometimes quite tight. Once you've got it started, it will just pull, but sometimes it can be a bit challenging to get it off. So it grips on very well. So put those screws somewhere safe. All three of those screws are exactly the same. So if you grab hold of it here, and yank it, there we go, that's come off quite easy. And then you need to take it off. Don't take it right off, just pull it off up to that point there. And then this is held on, I think, as long as this isn't different to the pre-facelift, this just is pushed on with tabs and some clips. I can't do this one-handed, so I'm going to have to put this down for a second. Okay, what I discovered, the reason I couldn't pull that off one-handed is because on this one you've got a little plastic tab that says airbag on it, and underneath that you've got a torque screw. So we'll get that torque screw undone. Why they've changed it, they were a bit loose I suppose on the pre-facelift. Those clips easily broke and they came loose. So I guess they've changed the design, and of course this piece is bigger than it is on the pre-facelift. So once you've got that off, that will just fall off. Excuse the camera work. Keep all those screws somewhere safe, and that piece that says airbag. So as I say, on the pre-facelift car, it just pulls off and it's pushed in with tabs. It's held on there, and then there's another one that just pushes in at the top. So I'm trying to do this for you for facelift and pre-facelift because it doesn't differ very much. Now, one more screw there. This is the last screw. And then after this, there is one bolt to take off, which I have explained. If you've watched any of my other videos, I will explain to you again, but we'll come to that in a second. Right, that's the last screw out there. Right, what I'm going to do now is, because I've got to take this off completely, I've got to disconnect the pretensioner. Now I've got a flat bladed screwdriver here, which is only a tiny one. I don't know if it will be big enough, but in here, which side are we? That side. See that screw there? All you do is you turn that, and then that releases that seat belt. Let me try to see if I can do it with one hand. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it just pops off. So there's your pretensioner. So if you're going to change your pretensioners, you've got to do that anyway. And once this panel is either pulled out or pulled off, your pretensioners will, again, one bolt on it, like there's one bolt on the seatbelt, and that will just come out. But again, if you're touching pretensioners and seatbelts, you must disconnect the battery. You must do that. Do not forget. When I say disconnect the battery, disconnect the earth quick release terminal. You don't need to take the battery out or disconnect the positive, just that earth. Okay, so now everything is free except for one bolt. That bolt, as you can see, has a nice shiny bolt. Many people, including myself in the past, have broken that bolt. That bolt goes to the outside world into the wheel arch somewhere, and because of that, it gets rusty. When you take it out, it's really as it starts to come out, it's quite free, and then it will get more gunged up, and not gunged up. It will become more difficult to get out. 9 times out of 10, no matter how old your car is, unless you've got a brand new car which is 6 months old, in which case why would you be taking it all off? This is a 2016, and I know it's going to be like it. But if you take that out with an ordinary wrench and a socket, you will most likely shear that off. And if you shear it off, you've got to drill it out, and it's an absolute pain. Then you've got to find a bolt to replace it as well. Now, what I have found the best way to do this is if you use a gun on it, an impact gun, with an extension bar, it will come out cleanly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do it one-handed and hold the camera at the same time, and you can see how it comes out. The reason I often, when I'm changing seatbelts and pretensioners, the reason I don't take that bolt out is because there's not really any need. Once it's released as far as it is at the moment, once you've slipped the pretensioner out of the bottom, which you can do once you lift it up, you can pull this right out. It will come off its poppers, and it's enough to bend, to remove it down there, remove that out of the hole here, and then just bend it back, and you can get your arms in there and get the seatbelt bolts undone, and so on and so forth. If you're going to take the if you've got a blown speaker or something, if that's the reason that you're taking this off, you're going to have to take it off. But I would say, if you haven't got yourself a wrench, an impact wrench, borrow one or buy one, because I can almost guarantee that you will break that if it comes out. And even if you do get it out successfully, chances are you won't be able to get it back in again. I've had that as well. What I have done in the past, when I've broken it, rather than drilling it out, I have secured, because that's obviously the seatbelt anchor. What I have done is I did it once. I secured the seatbelt on one of these bolts, on the seat bolts. It's secure, so it's not a problem. Obviously it's not ideal, but that was very early on in doing these cars, and I thought that was at the time the best option. So now, because I've got the impact gun, I'm probably saying famous last words now, it'll probably break. But I'm going to get the correct socket on, and then we'll come back and we'll do it with the impact gun, and you can see how it comes out. It takes longer even with the impact gun because it gets stuck, but let's do it. Okay, so it's a 13mm socket. Now if you use an extension bar, and then keep the impact wrench as straight as you can, because by doing it at an angle, that's why when you're using an ordinary wrench and you're really fighting with it, you tend to bend it, and that's when it breaks. So if you keep this straight, do it in short bursts, it's more likely to come out cleanly. So I think the sound normally goes a bit horrible when I use the impact wrench. It obviously interferes with the electronics on the camera, I think. So I apologise for that, but let's get it out. Let's do it. Ready? Let's go. It's actually come out quite easy, but that wouldn't be easy. It actually looks quite clean. It's not rusted like they normally are, but then again, this is a newer car, so that may have been okay with a wrench, but with an ordinary hand wrench. But it's much better idea to do as I've described there. It's much safer. So you can put your impact wrench and all your spanners and your sockets and everything to one side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you up on a tripod outside the car, and then we'll yank this thing off. Okay, so we've got you set up in the boot. Hopefully you can hear me okay still. So as I say, we've got to, as we take it off, we just pull it firmly, and it will come out the poppers. If some of the poppers break, well, I've got lots of spares, but try not to break them. If any fall out, retrieve them, and then they slot back in onto there. We'll show you that when we get it out. So yeah, so basically start anywhere you like really. I always start just here and pull. There you go. And then this piece here just pulls out, and then you can feed that bit and the rest of the seatbelt through. like so, and then as you lift it up, it comes off of the pretensioner, and that's it, it's off. Right, we'll come around the other side now, we'll show you the poppers on the other side, and I've actually just noticed this is broken. Someone has had this off before, actually that may have been me. There's actually a broken lug on it, but I'm not too worried about that, but yeah, it shouldn't be broken obviously. So right, let me show you the back of it, and then we'll crack on and do what we've got to do. Okay, so we have got one lost lug, which is probably still sitting in the bit in the car. So you've got these grey clips that hold it on. I've got one missing there as well. So whether I actually took this off once before. What did I change? Oh, I changed the curtain airbag on this car. That's why this has been off before. So I think what I did when it was as it's a pre-facelift, as it's a facelift car, I didn't realise that it was different when I took it off. So now I'm showing you it's different. So it slots in using these little things into little holes. So you need to line those up, and those clips just push in. So you just need to line them up. Look down the side of the panel when you do it, and just sort of line them up. So it's not difficult. It's not difficult. But let's take this out of the car, and then what we'll do is we'll get back in the car and show you the inside, what's underneath. Right. So this is the time. If you've got a second-hand car that's a few years old, this is the time when you find money down the side. You often find pound coins and what have you. I've found several pounds in the past throughout a car, especially cars that I've broken up. So I'm just trying to have a look around. So that's the bit that's broken on this one. So I might plastic weld that back on, or figure out where it comes from. So there were no lugs here. So the lugs for some reason have obviously. Oh, there's one. See, that needs to be priced out, preferably without breaking it. So obviously, there's I haven't got the battery disconnected. I don't practice what I preach, do I? I do actually, but I'm not touching the seatbelt. It's staying here, so I'm not too worried. But so there's your pretensioner down there. That's where it's wired into the car. There's one bolt down there, and the seatbelt is held on with one bolt. That's your crash sensor on the side of the car, which surprisingly in this car hasn't gone. And there's your seatbelt and your wiring for your seatbelt. There's your speaker, obviously. That's about it. Obviously cables that run to the boot. So it's a good time to have a clean up around here. Get the hoover out, hoover up any bits that have slid down the back of the seat. So that's it basically. I don't think there's anything else to show you. So obviously when you put it back, refitting is the reversal of putting it back, like everything always is. So I think that's all I need to tell you. So yeah, that's it. That's how to remove an internal side panel on a Fiat 500. What I will say is the one on the other side is, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you've got Blue and Me problems, your Blue and Me is located just underneath that speaker. So it's in this aperture here, but on that side. And it's held in by rivets like the speakers are, so you need to drill the rivets out. It's in a metal cage, and you need to drill the rivets out, and then it will lift out, and then obviously you need to re-rivet it back in again. But that's it. So that's how you remove an internal rear quarter panel on a Fiat 500. So thanks for watching. I hope this video has proved informative for you, and I hope it's going to help you out if you've got to come and do this job at some point in your car. And that may be why you're watching the video in the first place. So please give us a thumbs up and like and share, and also please subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel's analytics and gets it out there to more people. We're aiming for 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We've just hit the 2,500 mark, so we're halfway there. So please like, share and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and have another look through at the pictures that we've, sorry, not the pictures, the videos we've got in our how-to series, which shows you how to do lots and lots of things on a Fiat 500 and a Abarth, because they're the same. They are Fiat 500s at the end of the day. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope it was good. Don't forget, I'm going to say it again, like, share and subscribe. Take care. See you soon.